Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles. And today's World of Warships video is going to be a tricky one to do a commentary on, because I'm going to upset somebody no matter which way I approach what it is I wanted to talk about. And what I wanted to talk about is the whole idea of playing games for fun. What's tricky about that, Jingles? Surely everybody plays games for fun. Well, you'd think so. People have different interpretations of what fun means. Generally speaking, the majority of people play online games to win, because winning is fun. So they're playing to win, and they're having fun doing it. Now you could argue that they're playing to win and playing for fun at the same time, and you'd be absolutely correct. But they would never describe themselves as playing for fun. They'd describe themselves as playing to win and having fun doing it. If somebody goes out of the way to describe what they're doing as playing for fun, it's usually because they're about to, or have just done something mind-bogglingly stupid. And more often than not, it's when they've just done something incredibly stupid, it hasn't worked, they've ended up looking like idiots, and the team are criticising them heavily for it. And that's when the old line, "I play for fun," gets trotted out in chat as a sort of excuse to explain why it was they did whatever it was that was just so incredibly stupid and pointless. And a lot of the time, when you're watching these RNG video compilations on YouTube, regardless of what game you're playing, whether it's World of Tanks, World of Warships, when you see somebody do something spectacular and get away with it, that's when somebody was playing for fun rather than actually trying to win, and they got lucky. What's that got to do with today's video, Jingles? Well, we're on the Two Brothers map, aren't we? It's the map with the big old channel right down the centre of the map. Yep. You know what's coming, don't you? 4 ships go down this channel. Well, 5 if you count the 1 destroyer on the enemy team. 4 ships sail down this channel. 1 cruiser, 1 destroyer, 2 battleships. These guys have decided that sailing down the central channel right at the beginning of the game is going to be fun, and they're trying to entice the rest of the team to come down with them. In particular, one of the Sims-class destroyers on the team is begging them not to do it. The channel has already claimed its first victim. Enemy destroyer down there, trying to hide in a smoke screen, but torpedoes from the Furutaka didn't care. And every single one of these guys has been spotted by carrier-borne aircraft. So all of those enemy ships, which have barely had a chance to leave their starting position, know that 1 destroyer, 1 cruiser and 2 battleships are coming down this channel. I don't know what it is about this central channel on Two Brothers. It's like a month or 2 ago I put a video up saying, look, this is a stupid idea, don't do it. And it's as if everybody went, oh yeah, challenge accepted. And are determined to prove me wrong. I must hasten to add that sailing down this central channel on Two Brothers is not intrinsically in and of itself a bad idea. But it's all about the timing. If you do it right at the start of a game, the enemy fleet all have broadside shots on everything that exits the mouth of this channel. After about the halfway point of a match, once the enemy ships have had a chance to get clear, you can rush down the middle of this channel and ambush the enemy carrier, come up behind the rear of enemy ships on the flanks. From that point on, it's not a bad idea, but at the beginning of the match, all you're doing is throwing ships away. At the moment, they're taking advantage of the smoke screen that was dropped by that enemy destroyer before he got sunk by the Furutaka's torpedoes. But this smoke screen ain't going to last forever, and they're waiting for the battleships to catch up while they're busy farming kills, unspotted, within the smoke screen of the various different aircraft. But the aircraft will have spotted the battleships coming down because they're not in the smoke screen. And just you wait and see what kind of reception committee is waiting for these guys. Look at this. Every single one of these ships has got shots on anything coming out of this channel. The sunk destroyer's smoke screen just dissipated. The guy in the Gnevny is now dropping his own smoke screen. The Furutaka is going for it. The New Mexico is going for it. The Scharnhorst is bringing up the rear. And so the slaughter commences. So what's waiting for them? Well, there's a Nagato. There's a Warspite. There's a Badioni, there's a Scharnhorst, and that's just on the port side. There are more ships shooting at them from the starboard side as well, but for now we're just concentrating over here. Torpedo hits scored. 2 torpedo hits scored on the Nagato. He's gonna ram him, which is probably the best thing that he could possibly do under the circumstances, because he's just lost all of his health, and there we go. Right, for attacker, yep, he's dead as well. It must be the New Mexico's turn. Oh, actually, it looks like the New Mexico's he's getting cold feet about this. There is also, there he is, an Arizona, another Tier 6 battleship shooting at them from the other side. And it looks like the Scharnhorst is going first. There go the torpedo bombers. Notice how everybody has broadside shots into every single one of these ships as they come steaming out of the mouth of this channel. It's not looking good, is it? The Scharnhorst is almost gone. The New Mexico is now taking a pounding. They have almost managed to sink the Nagato, however, so there's something. The Scharnhorst has taken even more hits. Doesn't matter which way he turns, broadside on to a battleship, and the Scharnhorst's gone. It's just the New Mexico left. He's already lost a third of his health. The Nagato is burning. It looks like they might sink the Nagato. Well, I say they, there's only one of them left. Torpedoes going in on the New Mexico. And, yep, they've almost certainly got the Nagato. Yep, Nagato's down. What damage? Look at this lot. Broadside shots from the Warspite's 8 15-inch guns straight into the side of that New Mexico. Broadside shots from the other side, from the Arizona's guns. And let's not forget the Gneisenau as well, and any second now, there we go, New Mexico dead as well. So, 4 ships thrown away. What did they do? They sank a Nagato. Well, it was fun. Not much fun for the rest of your team, though, because now they have to carry the mess that you've left them. And so this is where the whole controversy of playing for fun arises. Playing for fun is fine if what you do is stupid and it works. But if it's stupid, it's usually not going to work, and it didn't work on this occasion. But hey, these 4 guys had fun. Not too sure about the rest of their team, though, because they're going to have to strap their man pants on and carry hard in order to salvage something from this mess. Thankfully, there is one player on the team who's going to do exactly that. It's the friendly Scharnhorst, who didn't sail down the middle of the channel and suicide right at the start of the game. His name's Lightning Blitz, and he's already got 3 kills. He's just flushed this Minakaze out of his little old smokescreen, dodged his torpedoes, and he's about to finish him off with his secondaries and earn himself his 4th kill and the Close Quarters Expert medal. And here come the surviving dive bombers from the enemy carrier. Enemy carrier over there, Tier 7, Ryujo. His name is Gabe Bolgo. It's a reference, by the way, to an ancient Celtic barbed spear. It's amazing the dumb shit I know, isn't it? The only reason I know that is because as a kid I used to read the comic called 2000 AD, and there was a character in it called Slain who was a Celtic warrior, and that's how I know what the name of that Celtic spear was. You'll never learn anything useful reading those comics, my mum used to say. And she was right, because it's not useful to know that. But anyway, back to the game. So, Steel Fleet 22 over there in the Nagato finished off the Warspite. He doesn't have a massive amount of health remaining, however. The New Mexico over here, Moa 27, he's got a reasonable chunk of health. And you'll notice that the 3 battleships are all consolidating their strength. They're all heading to the same spot, so they can cruise around together in one big battleship-shaped lump and consolidate their anti-aircraft firepower against that enemy carrier. And that's absolutely the right thing to do at this point. Unfortunately for the Arizona on the enemy team, there he is, who picked this precise moment to sail down that central channel. He couldn't have done it at a worst possible time, because that means he's now got all 4 enemy ships. Well, 3 of them shooting into his broadside and 1 shooting into his bows. So he's getting broadsided no matter which way he turns. It was a reasonably well planned and executed attack, however. He was backed up and supported by the enemy carrier, Gabe Bolger, over there, and he has managed to take out the Nagato with a torpedo attack. The problem for the Arizona is that, well, he's alone for the moment, and it doesn't matter which way he turns, he's going to have a battleship shooting into the side of his ship. This is the problem that you have when you come out of this channel. Normally the Arizona would have gotten away with it, because at this stage of the battle the remaining enemy ships are usually all the way around the flanks, and there's nobody here to spot you coming out of the channel. It was just dumb rotten luck that these guys were all consolidating at the time. Another factor that's going to ensure the demise of this poor old Arizona is, well, I don't know if you've just noticed, he's popped up on the map. The guys are now on the enemy team. He's just about to fire some shots at the new... There it is. There he is. This was actually a three-pronged attack. The Arizona, the Gneisenau and the carrier all expertly timed their attack to coincide with the moment the Arizona cleared the mouth of the channel there. Unfortunately, there's a cyclone on. The Arizona's down. The cyclone reduces maximum visibility to something like, I think, 7 kilometers, which meant the Gneisenau was actually clear of the corner of the landmass over there, and if not for the cyclone, would have been able to add supporting fire and been able to hit this New Mexico in the broadside, which meant the New Mexico would have to do what he's doing now, that they can actually see the Gneisenau, turn his bows on the Gneisenau, giving the Arizona the broadside of the New Mexico. And it would have made things substantially trickier for these guys in the New Mexico and the Scharnhorst. But thanks to the cyclone, it completely fell apart, and they were able to fight one ship at a time. Oh, that was a big old hit on the New Mex. Oh, and here come the torpedo bombers. It looks like the enemy carrier is running out of planes, and it does not look like he's going to go for the New Mexico. He's judged that the Gneisenau is able to deal with the New Mexico by himself. Instead, he's sending the torpedo bombers against the Scharnhorst. Yep, there they go. He's taken one hit, possibly two. Yes, two. It's going to be close, but the secondaries from the Gneisenau have set the New Mexico on fire. That's probably going to be a kill. New Mexico's trying to turn so the Gneisenau doesn't get a shot into the broadside of his ship, but that means he can't get his gun turrets pointed at him, and he's just burned to death anyway. So, well, Lightning Blitz in the Scharnhorst there should be able to deal with the Gneisenau, although it's a close range secondary gun battery duel here. But I'm pretty sure, judging by the ease with which Lightning Blitz was able to take out the Minakaze, that he's secondary spec'd, and bang, there we go. He's finished off the Gneisenau. The Cleveland over there, as we just saw, he's making for the cap. And that is actually very good thinking from the Cleveland. Remember, there's a cyclone in force, visibility is reduced, and that enemy carrier, the Ryujo, that's a fast ship. And with a cyclone, you have to get within 7 kilometers to spot him, and he could be anywhere at this stage of the game. So rather than spend the rest of the game fruitlessly chasing an unspotted carrier around in a cyclone, which you may never find him, and you're not guaranteed to sink him either, the Cleveland's playing it safe, and he's headed around the side of the map, not up the middle, and he's now capping. Meanwhile, Lightning Blitz, 6 kills. That's 1 kill more than the rest of his team combined. Slowly burning away there, although one of the fires has gone out. He should survive this. He's got enough health that one remaining fire isn't going to kill him, and that should burn out any second now as well. And providing that fire doesn't kill him, he's going to... There we go, the fire's out. So Lightning Blitz, with his 6 kills, is going to survive this match because the enemy carrier has run out of aircraft. Although he definitely got his money's worth out of the aircraft that he had. So Lightning Blitz in the Scharnhorst, putting his man pants on, taking his brave pills, and carrying like an utter boss after 2 battleships, 1 cruiser and 1 destroyer just threw themselves away for 1 enemy battleship right at the start of the game. And credit where credit's due, at least these guys acknowledge that, and they're saying there in chat, Lightning Blitz, thanks for taking up the slack. But it's slack that people created at the start of the game by playing for fun rather than playing to win. Now, I'm asking this question in the full knowledge that I know it's going to generate some very, very passionate responses down in the comments below this video. But I'm going to ask the question anyway. If you play World of Warships or World of Tanks or whatever your team-based multiplayer game is for fun, rather than playing to win, because winning is fun, and if you can win and have fun, great. But if you're just not very good, and so in order to get enjoyment out of the game, you play for fun, don't you think that's being a bit selfish? Because it is a team-based multiplayer game. And, well, you can see the amount of carrying that the rest of your team has to do in order to make up for the fact that you just want to have some fun. And yet, at the same time, you have to bear in mind that if, well, one destroyer, a cruiser and 2 battleships hadn't decided to play for fun rather than playing to win at the start of this match, Lightning Blitz here in the Scharnhorst would probably have had an ordinary game. As it stands, he's had a game that he's going to remember for a long time, and rightfully so, because he played very, very well. So, have a think about that before you frame your replies in the comments down below. And that is it for today's episode of World of Warships. I'm going back to World of Warcraft, which is probably going to be the subject of Saturday's not World of Warships or World of Tanks video. In the meantime, take care, and I'll catch you next time.